Welcome to online CET class. Today we'll discuss MCQs on electromagnetic induction and alternating current. So first one, a rectangular coil of cross section A is placed in a uniform magnetic field B as shown in the figure. Magnetic flux through the coil is. See, this is the plane of the coil. This is the direction of magnetic field. Now it is given that the magnetic field lines make angle alpha with the plane of the coil. If this angle is alpha, at this point, if I draw perpendicular to the area, then this angle will be 90 minus alpha. Now this is the direction of area vector, this is the direction of field vector, or if I take it other side, so this will be 90 minus alpha. So flux through the surface is BA cos theta, but here theta is 90 minus alpha. So in the formula, theta is angle between magnetic field vector and area vector. Since it is 90 minus alpha, it should be BA into 90 minus alpha, that is equal to cos of 90 minus alpha. So it will be BA cos of 90 minus alpha, we know it is sin alpha. So it should be option B. So remember, when you calculate the flux, make sure that the angle theta is between B and A, and area vector is always perpendicular to the area that you are considering. So it is option B. We shall move on to next one. A straight conductor of length 4 meters moves at a speed of 10 meter per second. When the conductor makes an angle 30 degree with the direction of magnetic field of induction 0.1 Weber per meter square, then the induced EMF is. So this is based on the concept of motional EMF. E is equal to BLV and angle is given, so it should be BLV sin theta. So here B is 0.1 Weber per meter square. See, Weber per meter square is nothing but Tesla, so it is 0.1. Length is given 4 meters. Velocity is given 10 meter per second. Theta is given 30 degree, sin 30 is half. So this turns out to be 2 ones are 2 2s are 20 into 0.1, that is 2 volt. That is option B. Okay, we shall move on to next one. Choke coil controls. See, choke coil is an inductor, so it controls AC. So it will have very low resistance, so it cannot control DC, it controls only AC. Yes, we shall move on to next one. A square coil of 0.01 meter square area is placed perpendicular to uniform magnetic field of intensity 10 to the power 3 Weber per meter square. Magnetic flux linked with the coil is. They have given the area is perpendicular to uniform magnetic field, that means theta is equal to 0, not 90, it is 0. So perpendicular to area means parallel to area vector. So flux through the coil is B into A, in this case cos theta becomes 1, so that will be B is 10 to the power 3 into 0.01. 0.01 is nothing but 10 to the power minus 2, so this will become 10 Weber. That is option A. It is option E. Shall move on to next one. A conducting rod of length 2L is rotating with constant angular speed omega about its perpendicular bisector. A uniform magnetic field B exists parallel to the axis of rotation. Then EMF induced between two ends of the rod is. See, in this case, about this point, this is the center of the rod, about this point it is rotating. When it rotates, so it rotates along this particular circle. So at any point during its rotation, if you see, the flux linked with the rod is same. So it is not changing. Since it is not changing, so there is no change of flux. So d phi is equal to 0, and we know that E is equal to d phi by dt. So that also becomes equal to 0. So it should be option D. So it is option D. Yes, we shall move on to next one. A current passing through a choke coil of 5 Henry is decreasing at the rate of 2 ampere per second. The EMF developed across the coil is. So it's a choke coil, that means it is a self induction. So 5 Henry is the inductance of the coil. So current is decreasing at the rate of 2 ampere per second. So EMF induced is given by minus L into di by dt. So here this 2 ampere per second is di by dt, that is decreasing, so it should be negative. So L is given, it is 5, so minus 5 into this is minus 2, minus because it is decreasing. So that will become 10 volt. That is option A. Okay, we shall move on to next one. Which quantity is increased in a step down transformer? See, step down, step up, these words are used with respect to voltage. So your stepping down voltage means voltage is decreasing. So when voltage decreases, it is current that will increase. So it should be option A. Next, you have two copper cables of equal length for carrying current. One of them has single wire of area of cross section A. The other has 10 wires of cross section A by 10 each. Judge their suitability for transporting AC and DC. Options are only single strand for DC, either for AC, only single strand for AC, either for DC, either for DC only multiple strands for AC, only single strand for DC, only multiple strands for AC. So here, when compared to DC, AC has greater leakage effect. Hence, a multi-strand wire is suitable for transferring AC from one point to another point. But DC may be transported either by multi-strand or by single strand, it does not make any difference. So it must be option C, either for DC, only multiple strands for AC. See, AC has greater leakage effect than DC, therefore cable with 10 wires is suitable for AC. We shall move on to next one. Two coils of self inductance L1 and L2 are placed close to each other such that their effective flux in one coil is completely linked with the other. Then their mutual inductance is. See, mutual inductance for the pair of coils with 100% flux linkage, this is standard one. So it should be root of L1 L2. It is option C. So this is a memory based question. Okay, we shall move on to next one. The resistance coil is held horizontally and magnet is allowed to fall vertically through it. Then the acceleration of the magnet is. See, suppose if this coil is not there, then it would have fallen with the acceleration equal to g. Now it is falling with acceleration g, but when it is moving with respect to this ring, then there will be EMF induced in it. And according to your Lenz's law, the EMF induced will set up current such that when you are observing from top, the current direction is anti-clockwise such that this end becomes north pole. Then this north pole and this north pole, they repel each other. When they repel each other, so this is pushed this way, this is pushed this way. So because of this repulsion, the acceleration becomes less than g. So it is option B. Next, the equivalent inductance between A and B shown in the figure will be. Now remember one thing, inductors behave just like resistors. Now if you consider this circuit, observe these 2 points. This end is connected to, it is shorted with A, so this is A, this is B. Now observe this inductor, first one is connected between A and B, second inductor is connected between A and B, third inductor is also connected between A and B. So all the 3 are in parallel. When they are in parallel, just like the resistors, they combine here. So Rp is equal to R divided by 3. All are identical here. In the same way, Lp should be equal to L divided by 3. L is what? 3 Henry divided by 3. So it will become 1 Henry. That is option B. We shall move on to next one. A small piece of wire is passed through the gap between the poles of a magnet in 0.1 second. An EMF of 4 into 10 power minus 3 volt is induced in the wire. The magnetic flux between the poles of magnet in Weber is. So we know that EMF induced is, magnitude is d phi by dt. So d phi should be equal to e dt. And notice one thing, d phi is what? Phi 2 minus phi 1. Phi 2 is between the poles, phi 1 is outside, and we know that phi 1 is equal to 0, outside there is no flux. So d phi will be equal to phi 2. So this implies d phi is equal to phi 2, that is flux between the poles of the magnet, that is equal to e dt. So just multiply them, it will become 4 into 10 to the power minus 3 into 0.1, that is nothing but 4 into 10 power minus 4 Weber. That is option B. So we shall move on to the next one. A straight line conductor of length 0.4 meter is moved with speed of 7 meter per second perpendicular to magnetic field of induction 0.9 Weber per meter square. EMF induced across the conductor is. So this is based on your motional EMF concept. So motional EMF is given by E is equal to BLV. Here it is moving perpendicular to magnetic field, so it should be BLV. So that is equal to B is what? 0.9 Weber per meter square. L is 0.4 and V is 7. So that will become 2.52. volt. That is option C. Okay, we shall move on to next one. A copper rod 1 meter long along east-west falls freely if the Earth's horizontal magnetic field is 2 into 10 to the power minus 5 Tesla. The EMF induced between the induced 2 seconds after it starts falling is. So, in 2 seconds, how much it will fall? That is what you have to calculate. That means what velocity it will pick up. It is falling from rest, so we can use V is equal to AT. V is equal to U plus AT, but U is equal to 0 as it is falling from rest. So, A is G, that is 9.8 into T is 2 seconds, that is 19.6 meter per second. This is V. So, E is equal to BLV. It is moving perpendicular to magnetic field. Magnetic field of Earth is from south to north. Remember, it is from south to north, not from north to south. So, E is equal to BLV. Just substitute. B is 2 into 10 to the power minus 5 into L is 1 meter into V is, it picks up 19.6 meter per second. So, turns out to be, see, 19.6 into 2 is 39.2 into 10 to the power minus 5, or it can be 392 into 10 power minus 6 volt. That is nothing but 392 microvolt. That is option A. Yes, we'll move on to next one. Current in coil of self-inductance L is equal to 40 millihenry is to be increased from 1 ampere to 11 ampere in 4 milliseconds. The magnitude of induced EMF during the process is. So, it's a case of self-inductance. So, E is equal to L into di by dt. So, L is what? 40 millihenry, it is 10 power minus 3. Di is what? Change in current. Current changes from 1 ampere to 11 ampere. So, it should be 11 minus 1, that is change in current. Time taken is 4 milliseconds, 10 power minus 3. So, that turns out to be 10 power minus 3, 10 power minus 3 get cancelled, 4 ones are 4 tens are. So, it will be 10 into 11 minus 1 is 10. So, that will be 100 volt. That is option A. We shall move on to next one. Coefficient of mutual induction between two coils is 0.4 Henry. If a current of 4 ampere in the primary is cut off in 1 by 1500 second, EMF induced in the secondary is. So, for mutual inductance, induced EMF is M into di by dt. Same kind of question as the previous one, but it is mutual inductance. So, M is what? 0.4 into di is 4 ampere to 0, so it will be 4 only. Change in current is 4. Time taken is 1 by 1500. So, that turns out to be 0.4 into 4 into 1500. So, that turns out to be 2400 volt, that is 2.4 kilovolt. That is option A. So this is it. We shall move on to next one. According to Faraday's law, the total charge induced in the conductor moved in a magnetic field depends on initial magnetic flux, final magnetic flux, rate of change of magnetic flux, change in magnetic flux. See, they are asking for total charge, not the induced EMF. So, induced charge is proportional to change in magnetic flux, not the rate of change. EMF depends on the rate of change of magnetic flux, but total charge induced depends on change in magnetic flux. See, E is equal to d phi by dt. This is induced EMF. So, this implies E by R is equal to 1 by R into d phi by dt. This is induced current. So, induced current is what? E by R is induced current. Induced current can be written as dq by dt, that is equal to 1 by R into d phi by dt. See, this dq is your induced charge. So, that implies dt can be cancelled. What you are left with is dq is equal to 1 by R into d phi. If you integrate on both sides, you will get q is equal to 1 by R into phi. So, this is change in flux, right? So, that only determines the induced charge. That is option D. So, it is option D. Okay, we shall move on to next one. Two coils have a mutual inductance of 0.05005 Henry. The current changes in the first coil according to equation I is equal to I naught sin omega t, where I naught is 10 ampere and omega is 100 pi radians per second. The maximum value of EMF in the second coil in volts is. So, we know that induced EMF is M into di by dt. So, substitute for this, M is 0.005 into d by dt of, so I naught they have given, it is 10 ampere. So, I can write it as 10 sin omega t. We will substitute for omega later. So, now differentiate this with respect to time. So, what do you get? 0.005 into 10 omega cos omega t, that is 0.005 into 10 into omega is 100 pi cos omega t. This is what E. So, maximum value of E is this much. Cos omega t maximum value is 1. So, E maximum is equal to, see, this is 10 into 100, 10 power 3. So, this zeros get, this point number becomes whole number. So, it will become 5 pi. So, maximum induced EMF is 5 pi volt. That is option B. Okay, we shall move on to next one. The voltage drop in an AC circuit is V is equal to 5 sin 10t. If R is equal to 1 ohm and L is equal to 1 Henry, then phase difference between voltage and current is. So, it is a LR circuit. So, phase difference between voltage and current, it is given by tan phi is equal to XC minus XL divided by R, assuming that current leads voltage. This is the assumption. So Xc is here 0 minus omega L divided by R. So omega is given in the problem, omega is 10, R is 1, L is 0.1. So minus 0.1 into 10 divided by R is 1 ohm. So this will become minus 1. Tan phi is equal to minus 1, or phi is equal to minus pi by 4. So phi is minus pi by 4 means we assume that I leads the voltage, but it is not so. I lags behind voltage. That means V leads I. So notice one thing, it's a inductive circuit, more inductive. Circuit is more inductive. That's why voltage should lead current. That's why we got negative sign. We assume current will be leading the voltage in the beginning. So that's why we got negative. So it should be 45 degree or pi by 4. That is option A. Shall move on to next one. In LCR circuit, the capacitance is changed from C to 4C. For the same resonant frequency, the inductance should be changed from L to. See, resonant frequency is given by root of 1 by 2 pi root LC. So in order to keep the frequency constant, product of L and C should be same. Now LC should be constant, that should be equal to, so C is changed to 4C. Let the new inductance should be L dash, C is made 4C. Now clearly you can say L dash is equal to L by 4. So it should be option B. We shall move on to next one. In an LCR series circuit, under the conditions of resonance, the current is in phase with voltage, leads voltage by 45 degree, lags behind voltage by 90 degree, lags behind voltage by 90 degree. So it is the condition for resonance. At resonance condition, the circuit is pure resistive. And in pure resistive circuit, there is no phase difference between current and voltage. So we say they are in phase with voltage. Current and voltage are in phase. That is option A. So we shall proceed further. The relation between mean value of current Im and RMS value of current IRMS of a sinusoidal alternating AC is options are IRMS is equal to 2 root 2 by pi Im, IRMS is equal to root 2 Im, Im is equal to 2 root 2 by pi IRMS, IRMS is equal to Im by root 2. So we know that mean value of current is 2 I naught by pi, where I naught is peak value, and RMS value is I naught by root 2. Or I naught can be written as root 2 times IRMS. So substitute this in the first equation. So it will be 2 into root 2 IRMS divided by pi. So this should be equal to Im. So this is nothing but option C. Okay, we shall move on to next one. In a series LCR circuit, the voltage across R is 100 volt. The value of R is 100 ohm. The capacitance of capacitor 2 into 10 power minus 6 farad. Angular frequency of AC is 200 radian per second. The potential difference across the inductor is. So they have given it is resonant circuit. When it is resonant circuit, the current in the circuit will be the current through the resistor, current through the capacitor and current through the inductor. All the three will be same because it is series circuit, but pure resistive circuit it will be at resonance. So because of that, the impedance will be equal to resistance. That means current will be equal to applied voltage divided by resistance. So applied voltage is nothing but voltage across resistor divided by R because it is at resonance. So current in the circuit will be 100 volt divided by 100 ohm, that is equal to 1 ampere. So current in the circuit we got it is 1 ampere. So this is 1000 ohm, so it should be 0.1 ampere. So if it is 0.1 ampere at resonance, voltage across inductor should be equal to voltage across capacitor. Voltage across capacitor is current into capacitive reactance. So that should be I into 1 by omega into C, that is 0.1 divided by omega is given it is 200, capacitance is given 2 into 10 power minus 6. So that turns out to be 1000 divided by 4, that is 250 volt. That is option C. Okay, we shall move on to next one. Current in a LCR circuit will be maximum when omega is as large as possible, equal to natural frequency of LCR system, root of LC, root of 1 by LC. So condition for resonance is XL should be equal to XC. At resonance, the current will be maximum. So XL is equal to XC means omega L should be equal to 1 by omega C. So omega square is equal to 1 by LC, which implies omega is equal to root of 1 by LC. That is option D. So this is direct resonance frequency formula. So we'll move on to next one. In a LCR circuit, the voltage across each component L, C and R is 50 volt. The voltage across LC combination will be. Now notice one thing, voltage across L, C, R, all the three are 50. That means voltage across L, voltage across C are equal. That means VL is equal to VC. This implies the circuit is at resonance. So at resonance, the voltage across inductor, voltage across capacitor, they are equal and they will be opposite to each other. They are out of phase. So hence the voltage across LC combination will turn out to be 0. They add up to give you 0. That is option A. Okay, we shall move on to next one. When 100 volt DC is applied across a coil, a current of 1 ampere flows through it. When 100 volt AC of 50 hertz is applied to a same coil, only 0.5 ampere flows. The inductance of the coil is. So you need to find inductance. See, when 100 volt DC is applied across the coil, current is 1 ampere. 100 volt AC is applied, then current is 0.5 ampere. So when DC is applied, what you get is resistance. So resistance of the coil is 100 volt divided by current is 1 ampere, so it will be 100 ohm. When AC is applied, what you get is impedance. Impedance is Z. Z is equal to applied voltage is 100, current is 0.5. So that turns out to be 200 ohm. Now we know that Z is equal to square root of XL square plus R square, or R square plus XL square. So that should be root of 200 square plus 100 square. Along substitution it is. So Z is 200, square on both sides, 200 square is equal to XL square plus 100 square. Now XL square is equal to 200 square minus 100 square. So XL is what? Omega into L. So it should be omega square L square is equal to, see, this is A square minus B square, A plus B into A minus B. A plus B will be 200 plus 100, that is 300. A minus B will be 100. So L square is equal to 300 into 100 divided by omega square is, F is given 50, so it should be 2 pi F, 2 pi into 50 whole square. So this is it. Now calculate L from this. So L square is equal to 300 into 100 divided by, see, 2 into 50 is 100, 100 square, that is 100 into 100 into pi square. Pi square is roughly 10. So 100, 100, these two zeros get cancelled. So L square is equal to roughly 0.3. So L will be 0.55, and so this should be the answer. So that is option A. Okay, we'll move on to next one. An LCR circuit contains resistance of 100 ohms and a supply of 200 volts at 300 radian per second. Angular frequency, if only the capacitance is taken out from the circuit and the rest of the circuit is joined, the current lags behind voltage by 60 degree. If one of the other, if on the other hand only the inductor is taken out, the current leads the applied voltage by 60 degree. The current flowing in the circuit is, see, there is a resistance of 100 ohm, supply is 200 volt, angular frequency is 300 radian per second. It's a LCR circuit, all the three are there. When you remove only capacitance, then current, only capacitance is removed, current lags behind voltage by 60 degree. If you put it back, what happens? We don't know, right? That is not given. That's only we have to find out. If on the other hand only inductor is taken out, the current leads the applied voltage by 60 degree. Notice one thing, this is also 60, this is also 60. So when only capacitor is removed, then it will become inductive circuit. So phase difference is given by tan of phase difference is given, it is 60 degree, that is equal to omega L by R when capacitor is removed. Same tan 60, because here also it is 60, it will be equal to 1 by omega C divided by R when only inductor is removed. So this means omega L is equal to 1 by omega C. That means the circuit is at resonance. So when it is at resonance, current in the circuit is just applied voltage by resistance, that is 200 by 100, that is equal to 2 ampere. That is option C. Okay, we shall move on to next one. Average power delivered when a load of 100 ohm is connected to a 220 volt 50 hertz wall outlet is. So power in AC circuit is given by P is equal to VI cos phi, where V and I are RMS values of voltage and current. So it's a pure resistive circuit, there is only resistance in the circuit. So cos phi will be equal to 1 because phi is equal to 0. Now here current is not given. So in pure resistive circuit, you can also write this as V square by R. So that is 220 into 220 divided by resistance is 100. So that will be 22 into 22, that is 484 watts. That is option C. Yes, we shall move on to next one. Power in an AC circuit is given by P is equal to Vrms Irms cos phi. Value of cos phi in series LCR circuit at resonance is. See, at resonance in LCR circuit it becomes pure resistive circuit. Just now in the previous problem we have seen, for pure resistive circuit cos phi will be equal to 1. So they are asking what happens to cos phi. Notice one thing, cos phi is equal to 1 but phi is equal to 0. So cos phi is called power factor. So at resonance power factor will be equal to 1. Phase difference is 0, but power factor is 1. That is option A. Okay, we shall move on to next one. A conducting circular loop is placed in a uniform magnetic field of induction B Tesla with its plane normal to the field. Now the radius of the loop starts shrinking at the rate of dr by dt. Then the induced EMF at the instant when radius is r is. So, I need to find induced EMF in this case. So, we know that induced EMF is E is equal to minus d phi by dt. So, that is equal to minus d by dt of phi is what? Area into magnetic field for circle pi r square b. Now, differentiate this. B is constant, we can take it outside. Pi is also constant, minus pi b into d by dt of r square. So, d by dt of r square is 2r, so it should be minus 2r pi b into dr by dt. So, this is what we will get. So, that should be option B. So, it is option B. Okay, we shall move on to next one. If coil is open, then L and R becomes. See, when coil is open, there is no current in it. So, there will be no flux. When coil is open, current through that is 0. So, which implies flux will be 0. So, we know that phi is equal to L into I. So, phi is 0, I is 0. So, L should be equal to 0. But when it is open, it becomes open circuit. So, resistance becomes infinite. So, it should be 0 comma infinity, that is option B. Yes, we shall move on to next one. A coil having N turns and resistance R ohm is connected with a galvanometer of resistance 4R in series. This combination is moved in time t from magnetic field W1 Weber to W2 Weber. The induced current in the circuit is. So, induced current they are asking. So, induced current is E divided by R. So, induced EMF is 1 by R. I will keep it as it is. So, induced EMF must be minus d phi by dt, where phi is flux linked with the coil. But there are n turns in the coil. For each turn it is d phi by dt. There are n turns, so it should be n into d phi by dt. So, that turns out to be minus n by r into d phi by dt. Now, d phi is change in flux, that is W2 minus W1, and time taken dt is equal to t. Resistance in the circuit is R plus 4R, that is equal to 5R. So, induced current will be minus n by 5R into W2 minus W1 divided by T. That is option D. So we shall move on to next one. Magnetic flux of 10 microweber is linked with a coil when a current of 2 milliampere flows through it. What is the self inductance of the coil? So we know that flux linked with the coil is L into I. So you need to find L. This implies L is equal to phi divided by I. Flux linked with the coil in this case is 10 microweber, 10 power minus 6 divided by current is 2 milliampere, 10 power minus 3. So that will turn out to be 5 into 10 power minus 3, that is 5 millihenry. That is option B. Yes, we shall move on to next one. A current of 5 ampere is flowing at 200 volt in the primary coil of a transformer. If the voltage produced in the secondary coil is 2200 volt and 50% of its power is lost, then current in the secondary will be. So you need to find current in the secondary. So 50% of power is lost, that means 50% is remaining. So input power is input voltage Vp Ip. So 50% of this, that is 50 by 100th of this, should be equal to Vs Is. So current in secondary Is should be equal to 50 by 100 is 0.5, or I will write it as half, into Vp by Vs. Vp is primary voltage is 200 divided by secondary voltage is 2200 into primary current, that is 5 ampere. So this turns out to be 200 into 5. So 100 in, so this will become 100 into 5, 500. So these two zeros also can be cancelled. So it should be 5 by 22. So that will be roughly 0.25 ampere. That is option C. Yes, next one. A step down transformer transforms a supply line voltage of 2200 volt into 220 volt. The primary coil has 5000 turns. Secondary, the efficiency and power transmitted by transformer are 90% and 8 kilowatt respectively. Then supplied power is. So efficiency is power output divided by power input. This is given 90%. So that is 90 by 100. So power supplied, that is power input is equal to 100 by 90 into power output is 8 kilowatt. So that should be equal to, just simplify this, you will get it to be 80 by 9, that should be 8.89 kilowatt. That is option B. Okay, we'll move on to next one. Maximum voltage in DC circuit is 282 volt. The effective voltage in AC circuit will be, see, effective voltage means it is RMS. So this can be taken as the maximum value of voltage, that is peak value of voltage. So we know that Vrms is equal to Vm by root 2. So substitute here, 282 divided by root 2 is 1.41. So that turns out to be 200 volt. That is option A. So we'll move on to next one. In AC voltage source of variable angular frequency omega and fixed amplitude V naught is connected in series with capacitance and an electric bulb of resistance R. Inductance of the bulb is 0. When omega is increased, bulb glows dimmer, bulb glows brighter, total impedance of the circuit is unchanged, total impedance of the circuit increases. See, impedance of the circuit is Z, that is equal to square root of resistance of the bulb R square plus 1 by omega C. This is capacitive reactance square. Now when omega is increased, this factor decreases, so Z decreases. If Z decreases, current in the circuit increases. If current increases, bulb glows brighter. That should be option B. Proceed further. What is the average power dissipation in an ideal capacitor AC circuit? See, in a capacitive circuit, the phase difference between current and voltage is pi by 2. So this implies power factor cos phi is equal to 0. Therefore, power dissipated is also 0. See, power dissipated in an AC circuit is Vi cos phi. So since cos phi is equal to 0, power dissipated is also 0. That is why the current in pure capacitive or inductive circuit is called wattless current. Yes, shall move on to next one. An inductance of 1 Henry is connected in series with an AC source of 220 volt and 50 hertz. The inductive reactance is, so inductive reactance is XL, that is equal to 2 pi of L. See, in the options pi is kept as it is, so keep pi as it is. So just substitute and simplify. 2 into pi into 50 into L is 1 Henry. So it will become 100 pi ohm. That is option C. So it's a direct, simple question. Next we'll move on to next one. For a series LCR circuit, the phase difference between current and voltage at the condition of resonance is. So at resonance, phase difference between current and voltage is 0. It is option C. Next, a coil of inductance L is divided into 4 equal parts and all the parts are connected in parallel. Then effective inductance of the combination is, see, I told you inductance exactly behaves like resistance. When one coil is broken into 4 equal parts, originally is L, each part will have inductance L by 4. Now they are connected in parallel. When they are connected in parallel, so effective inductance LP is equal to individual inductance divided by 4. So individual inductance itself is L by 4, 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 all the 4 are in parallel. So it will become L by 4 divided by 4, that is L by 16 Henry. That is option C. Yes, we'll move on to next one. The equation of an AC voltage and current are V is equal to V naught sin omega t, I is equal to I naught sin of omega t plus 60 degree. Then correct phasor diagram is, see, it is omega t plus 60, that means current is leading the voltage by 60 degree. So here current is leading the voltage by 90 degree, so this is not correct. Here phase difference is 0, so this is not correct. Here voltage is leading current by 60 degree, so this is not correct. Here current is leading voltage by 60 degree, so it should be option C. Okay, we shall move on to next one. In the series LCR circuit shown, the ammeter and voltmeter readings are respectively. So notice one thing, 200 volt is connected, here 200, here 200. That means voltage across inductor and capacitor are same, so that means it is at resonance. So net voltage across this combination will be 0. So whatever is the voltage here, same will be the voltage here. So voltmeter reading should be equal to 200 volt. Now current in the circuit, since it is at resonance, should be V by R, that is 200 by resistance is 100, that should be 2 ampere. So it should be 2 ampere, 200 volt, that is option B. Yes, we'll move on to next one. Power consumed by a series LCR circuit is maximum when, if omega is angular frequency, omega L is greater than omega C, omega L is equal to 1 by omega C, omega L is less than 1 by omega C, omega L is equal to R plus 1 by omega C. See, power consumed in LCR circuit is maximum at resonance, and at resonance omega L is equal to omega C, that is capacitive reactance and inductive reactance are equal. So it should be option B. So that is all about this AC circuits and EMI. Thank you.